Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you happen to be new or a regular viewer that just hasn't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that red subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. According to my analytics, only about 15%, would you believe, of my many viewers are subscribed. So please subscribe, it really helps the channel out. Today we're talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds. There's a bit of new information that's come out recently as part of the Star Trek Day events. Extra hints at what's going to be in store for us in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We didn't get a trailer at the Star Trek Day, but we did get that character reveal video, which if you haven't seen my video on that, you can click up here and that will show you the link to that video. But today we're talking about a few other things that have been said by Anson Mount, Rebecca Romaine, Ethan Peck, Akiva Goldsman have said a few little extra bits and pieces about Strange New Worlds as to what we might expect in the show. It seems like every Star Trek show has got their little, I don't know, regular recreational kind of quirk that they have going on. Like on the Enterprise D, they were playing poker in Riker's quarters. On DS9, they had Vic Fontaine's Vegas cabaret act. On Voyager, they had, the Captain Proton holodeck program. Now, it seems like Captain Pike is got a little bit of a Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, insert your celebrity chef thing going on, because apparently he's going to be doing a lot of cooking in his quarters. So whether Pike has in his quarters an island bench or whatever, and he's got a replicator, and he kind of likes to get a bit hands-on in the cooking department, our Captain Pike does, from what I hear. And rather than just simply requesting a replicator to produce a fully made dish, he likes to get down and dirty with all the ingredients. So it sounds like we might even have a scenario where Pike's got number one or Spock in his quarters for a bit of after hours relaxation time, and he's maybe going to be on an island bench, chopping up some ingredients, frying up some stuff in a fry pan, doing the whole Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver kind of celebrity chef routine, it sounds like. We haven't seen a huge amount of cooking stuff on Star Trek. They just tend to either get their meals churned out of the replicator. They had a chef on the Enterprise in XO1. I think they kind of had a chef on the original Enterprise. But let's face it, as I mentioned in a previous video, the food never looked particularly appetizing. They were just kind of squares of fruit salad and so forth looking stuff, or Play-Doh, or, just coloured squares. To see Pike at an island bench with a gas burner, maybe frying up some nice steaks or something, getting crafty in the kitchen. I can just kind of see number one and Spock sip on a glass of red wine. It sounds a bit, it doesn't sound overly Star Trek, but it kind of sounds fun. And I like the visual. I think it sounds very relaxed. There hasn't been a lot of cooking in Star Trek shows really ever. So this is kind of a fresh take on activities our crew can participate in their downtime. I also get a sense that the stylings in Pike's quarters are going to be quite reminiscent of 60s aesthetics and be true to 60s design stylings, but with a modern and more contemporary twist or angle. So obviously we're not going to see sort of, basic glow mesh bed linen. I think we're going to see something interesting that obviously gives a good nod to the time period of which the original series is set, but not for it to look too cheesy or hammy or, or gaudy. The things I've heard Akiva Goldsman say is that Pike's quarters are going to be a special place. A very elegant and, 60s inspired living space, maybe, as I said, with something that kind of inspires this kind of live cooking element that it would seem like Pike likes to do. Now, another thing that was said at the Star Trek Day events about Strange New Worlds is that we're going to see Spock a bit different in this show. I don't think he's going to be the same Spock we see in the original series, and I get the impression he's not necessarily going to be precisely the same Spock we saw in Discovery Season 2. Obviously, that's a big part of the character, but I did hear Akiva Goldsman say that they did want to explore a little bit more of Spock's human side and relate that to moments that we have seen in Star Trek before. Like the moment in the original Cage pilot where we got a smiley Spock. Spock was down on the planet looking at those blue flowers that were kind of singing, and we saw a smiley-faced Spock in that. And they said that they're going to explore a little bit more of this human side of Spock maybe in Strange New Worlds. Is this a good thing? I've always thought that that moment in the Cage wasn't a direct reflection on what Vulcans turned out to be. The Cage pilot episode was the very first Star Trek that was ever filmed, and I kind of get the sense that in that episode, Leonard Nimoy was probably given a direction by the director of that episode. Oh, you're on this planet, it's a lovely blue flower and it's singing, I want you to smile. Now, this director probably wouldn't have known, all the ins and outs of Vulcan psychology and what Vulcans are. It was the very first Star Trek episode that was ever filmed. So I kind of get the sense that this creative choice to get Spock smiling ear to ear at a blue flower on the Telosian planet was kind of like, if you'd known the character properly, I'm sure the director probably wouldn't have given this direction to Leonard Nimoy. But he said, it's a nice blue flower, it's singing, I want you to smile. So in some ways, I don't necessarily think the smiley Spock we saw in that first Cage pilot was intentional. Obviously, later we come to get a bit more into the Vulcan, philosophy, a bit more into who Vulcans are, and that unemotional kind of state, or that repressed emotional state that they exist in, and that maybe if you directed that episode 3 seasons down the track or 2 seasons down the track, the director probably wouldn't have said to Leonard Nimoy, I want you to smile ear to ear at this singing blue flower. So to hear Akiva Goldsman say we're going to explore more about Smiley Spock we saw in the Cage pilot, I'm not sure that's an exact reflection on Vulcans. Then again, we know Spock is half human. We've never really gotten into his human side, so this could be also a refreshing change. Spock has always been, even though I'm half human, I'm living my life as a Vulcan, by Vulcan philosophy, in the ways of Vulcans. We've never kind of heard him talk about or embrace his more human side, even though he's half and half. That being said, I kind of think maybe this could be interesting. I hope they don't push it too far, because I think knowing what has been established about Spock in Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, and also what's been established in Spock from the original series through all the feature films and so forth, needs to be respected as well. You can't just rip all that up and completely rewrite the character. You have to respect that. And I really hope the directors and the producers of Strange New Worlds will respect the canon of who Spock is. And okay, maybe we're going to see some moments of levity. And I know one moment we're going to see, or several moments we might see in Strange New Worlds, is Spock exploring his more romantic side, his feelings of love, his human side and emotional, journeys of love and so forth. Which kind of leads me to believe we might see an appearance by Layla Kalomi. And this was in the episode This Side of Paradise, where Spock meets her on Earth and they form a bond, and she apparently wants a relationship with him, and they sort of have a bit of a thing, but it ends up can't work out because of him being all sort of Vulcan and emotionless. And a romantic relationship with Spock would be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, yeah, he's Vulcan, but he's also half human. So, they were certainly a little bit playing fast and loose in Discovery Season 2 with Spock's emotion or lack of emotion, or whether we see Spock and his love interest involved in Strange New Worlds. It's possible. We know that Rebecca Romaine has made a couple of comments that we're going to see legacy characters with legacy relationships. We also get other relationships with Spock in the Kelvin universe. We obviously know Spock and Uhura were in a relationship in the Kelvin universe films. Is that going to be explored? Is Spock and Uhura going to hook up at some point in Strange New Worlds? Or even, I think even in The Naked Time, that episode, there was a little bit of some chemistry or something there, or some maybe past, feelings of some kind between even Spock and Nurse Chapel. It seems like there's a possibility that we're going to see Spock exploring his feelings of love and his more romantic side, his more human side, with, could be Layla Kalomi, could be Uhura, could be Nurse Chapel. Who knows? It could be any of these characters. Or all of them, who knows? It could be Spock, does the rounds of the Enterprise crew. But it definitely seems like the producers are going for a Spock that is kind of pre-TOS era, that is a little bit more emotionally present. I'm sure he's still going to be Vulcan and have all of the Vulcan traits that we kind of saw the way Ethan Peck portrayed Spock in Discovery Season 2. But I think we're going to get moments and glimpses and a couple of episodes maybe that just delve into the more emotionally present Spock. The Spock that smiles at blue singing flowers on Telosia, that kind of Spock. So guys, what do you think about this skew in our characters? What do you think of the idea of Pike having cooking classes in his quarters? Do you think we're going to see Pike doing the whole Master Chef kind of thing, cooking up some, food in a fry pan at a stove in his quarters and, serving up some home-cooked meals to the crew? What do you think about that? Do you think we're going to see Spock in a relationship with one of the other legacy characters on board the Enterprise? Is it going to be Leila Kalomi? Is it going to be Uhura? Is it going to be Nurse Chapel? Or maybe somebody else? Who knows? Leave your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Please don't forget to leave a super thanks if you're able to. It really helps the channel out. Like and comment, and also subscribe. Let's get up to 25k subs. All of those 85% of you, of my viewers, if you haven't subscribed yet, please, guys, click on that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out, and you can be notified of all the latest upcoming Star Trek videos that are going to be available on YouTube. There's going to be heaps of Star Trek news coming up soon, so be sure to subscribe. And if you're interested in picking up a bargain and a cool t-shirt or something, check out my merch store. There's the link in the description below where you can get some really cool Star Trek themed t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, caps, stickers, you name it, it's all there. And until next time, I will catch you guys very soon for my next review.